Well, hi there. We are doing this pair. This is cheap paper. This is good paper. We're doing two versions of the pair. At this point, we want to add richness and depth to the overall pair. Just try to do a yellow wash here. This area here should be lighter, so I'm going to try to blot up a highlight there, and then that looks like a highlight. We're going to try to get a gray on the yellow. I just put some purple here. This kind of action is going to hopefully make it look more round. This is the cheap paper, so we don't have high expectations. I'm going to make a cool gray, like a Payne's gray on the cool side. And just try to make this a cool gray in this background, that area of the shadow. Yesterday we were talking about how there's a highlight in the shadow, this tinted yellow. Okay, I'll try to get a uh, warmer gray now coming forward. So here I mixed some red in with the same gray so it's warmer. And okay, now this isn't actually like a highlight. I'm just going to put some wire there and try to make it more of a blob highlight and sort of get rid of this hard edge we have there. We don't want a straight line in there. Paper is starting to break down. You see these little things there? That's the paper kind of disintegrating because it's wood pulp paper. Uh, have an interesting new looking shadow today. There's a highlight, a shadow, and then another brighter highlight. So we didn't have that yesterday, but we are going to, I don't know, try to depict that. So anyway, getting some red here. We definitely got a warm, there we go. Now we got a warm shadow. So uh, I'm going to do a little more work on the stem there. So we got like the hay color, a slight yellow, a slight green. So why don't we just, I'm going to exaggerate the green and get just a little line of green right here. That's too much paint, but I'm going to let that soak there for a minute. Remove the water from the brush and then just touch it, and then we're going to lift off a lot of that, but we're leaving a very subtle, hint of the green there. Next we got that hay color here. So for this I'm using this color called this is going to be another exaggerated color, but this is like if we get like 3-4 different colors in the stem's going to have a lot more depth. And like if you look at that, that's pretty much one color. It just looks like one color. Hello Trololo, appreciate the hello, thanks for stopping by. Okay, and this is a good color there. It's kind of weird, just that little line. I'm gonna also put a little bit right here. Try to stretch it out. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if that's looking good. Probably not. I guess I'm gonna blot some of it up. It's not blotting up. Put some water on it. Now it's sort of disappearing. That looks good. That's from yesterday. This green, I'm gonna spread that around just so it's softer, what do you call it, diffusion. So this area this time looks great. Let's hope the rest of the painting can can look like that. So anyway, let's see what's happening here. Shadow looks like hack, but you know, we're gonna layer that up. This, we didn't really build any depth. Let's see if we can get a highlight out of this. There, that's a nice highlight, looks much better. Now we need a shadow right there, which is going to be a, well, this, first of all, this is the reflection. Yesterday we were talking about the reflection and shadow, and if I turn off the overhead light, you can see it a lot better. It's right here. At least I would hope you could see it. See this right, this highlight comes right here up against the shadow. So, you know, how is this different than this color? It's got more of a, well, that's the challenge we're trying to achieve anyway, is get this to look that way, and it is different from this color. So one little thing that I have done before is to put some blue in there. This is a blue green. I'm just going to try that just to get in there and say, hello, I'm different than this area here. So that's, and let's try to go up here. Sort of there. Oh, looks pretty good. Okay, now I want a golden, a warm, I guess let's try warm green. And let's go right here. Oh my gosh, we are being bold here. Okay, and then this, we diffuse up this way. So that looks pretty horrible, but wait. All right, yeah. And then let's see if we can pull this out. Okay, that's not bad. Try to blend this in a little bit. Okay, I really don't want to do an outline. I think it would be pretty good to have an outline here. I really don't want to do an outline, but I'm doing it anyway. It's a very faint outline. Okay. Put the overhead light back on. See what's really happening here. That shadow looks, there's some blue in the shadow. You see this stuff here, this, like the paper disintegrating, unfortunately. I guess I just sort of let it sit there. And what else in that shadow? Let's just see if we can, okay. This is the paper is really disintegrating here. So there is this thing, this little thing there happening. So let's see. That looks pretty horrible. Well, I want to soften this line. Okay, that got pretty soft. Well, that whole shadow looks horrible. Let's see if we can get a highlight right here. That is really looking bad. All right, anyway, let's try to redefine the stalk here. Put an orange kind of color just to say hello or wood. That might be good. And then I want to get a dark, like a, get a really dark going right there. Okay. And do we want to do that thing there? I don't know. Let's see if we can. That's our dark, so from the stem, I guess that's okay to put there. this rot thing wasn't out there yesterday. Let's see if we can add the rotten part. Maybe that's what's missing from our little painting here. Well, it does not look worse, that's for sure. Shadow looks absolutely horrible, but let's maybe we can fix that up some other way. I don't know if that's a help. It kind of helps. The paper is just, I don't know, totally destroyed. So I think we want a darker dark somewhere about here, and there it is. Oh my gosh, that looks good. And why don't we just see if we can do that with help out the shadow, this green thing. Wow, that really rocks. Holy cow. Okay, I want to get a darker dark. The darkest part of the shadow is right underneath, so right here. So I'm just going to try to get a darker dark right there. That looks good. I think we're going places here. And then there is a thing here. Let's see if we can capture that. I don't know if that worked. Not really. I don't think that's really good. Well, let's see. Okay, it looks nice, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to remove a little bit of paint there. Take the water off the brush. Oh, that's good. Okay. That is a place where we would kind of like to have a highlight. So that's pretty much a highlight. And then this, line here just doesn't look that good, but let's see if it'll go away. Yes, it's going away. Okay. One more time to. Oh, yeah, man. Look at that. All right. What about richness and depth here? Let's try if we can get a more yellow happening right around here. I don't know if that's good or not. Probably not. I don't think so. Remove. We leave some of these subtle stuff there. Try to get a highlight right here. Okay, we got a highlight. I think it was better just before that last part, but whatever. Get we're gonna soften this line now. A bit too intense. Now it's a little softer. I don't know if that's was a good idea or not. Let's see. Just try to reclaim the highlight that was there. And let's just go see if we can get this to be pretty white, this little tiny area here. And yes, it is. Okay. Okay, let's try and get this here a little bit more on the yellow side. Putting a little more, like just a hint of purple right here. We are just trying to get a final thing. I don't know if that's so great. You know, we sort of are building form here, but I don't know if we're like really on it yet. And this shadow, jeepers, it just looks ghastly. Oh no, an errant drop of water. Let's try a darker. Let's see what this is. Try a darker accent here for these little rotten. Uh, that's not exactly it, but let's see. Okay, well this is kind of like a purple, but you know what we really want is like a burnt umber, but we don't have it. So let's see. We're gonna put a couple dots here, and down here we have a little bit of a dark there, and this. Okay, next I'm gonna try to um, have a dark. If you look very closely right here, there's this super fine line dark. I'm going to see if I can capture that because that will give us definition there and circumstance. Probably, maybe. Let's see. That's this paper plate sitting here for some reason. Let's see if we can get it. Really getting a line. Well, that's a pretty fine line. Okay, let's see if we can put that into action right here. And just blot that up slightly, especially there. That's dumb. Okay, I don't know about that. Here we got some other little blemishes happening. Let's see if this especially great. Here we have some lines and dots. Let's see if that could do. So painted, blotted up, and that just makes it a more subtle uh, thing there. I think we could try to get these. There's super fine lines coming out of the stem. Let's see if we can achieve that. Plus here we got a thing. And up here there's a little bump. Let's see if we can say hello, I'm a bump. I couldn't say if that's good or not. And I'm going to try to remove this slightly here. Maybe get a slight highlight right there. Rubbing this area with just water. Now squeeze the water out. Rubbing it with a dry brush. And yes, that is sort of smooth this thing out. And let's try to get, we don't want any outlines, but I think we can try to establish the outer Oh, that's a pretty nice right there. And then this could use a smooth out and make it a little more gentle. That shape there. And then here, let's just try to spread that up this way. Likewise here, I'm going to go back with the slight brown. Let's see about this. Just get this. That I don't know if that's good or not. Take a damp brush and sort of make it a little more subtle, that transition. And then here there's a bump. And that's not really good. But oh, looks pretty good. I don't know. Let's see. Sorry, it was perspective issue. What does that say? Hmm. Yeah, I watched Bob Ross when I was a kid. It was, I swear, oh yeah, black and white TV too. It was like in the 60s. I used to watch Bob Ross. Black and white TV. The screen was only my first TV when I was a kid. The screen was about 8 by 9 inches or something. Anyway, well, we're really going places here. I don't know where we're going. I don't know if it's a fun destination, but we're definitely moving on this thing. This paper is disintegrating because this is wood pulp paper. We also have a pair here on the Arches paper, cotton paper, but somehow I got all, uh, you know, involved with the cheap paper version. This whole pad was very cheap, and this is a 3-in-1 Artist multi-pack, and so you got this is what alleged watercolor paper is not the greatest. Then there's mixed media, so and watercolor. Oh, I guess I'm on mixed media. That's watercolor right there. Anyway, how about that? Maybe that's a good reason why it's not coming out perfect. Okay. Anyway, the shadow really looks horrible. I'm going to see what can I do with the shadow because I really want to say, hello, this is done. Let's move on to the other one. All right, so let's get ourselves a warm gray. We're going to get that with blue. I don't actually use black watercolor, but I have some dark colors. There's a dark color I have called neutral tint, which is pretty dark, and it's like a Payne's gray. Here we're mixing the a Primatech reddish brown with the neutral tint and trying to get myself a warm gray. And so let's just see what we got right there. I think that that's a pretty warm gray. Okay, good. Okay, well, that's an improvement. I don't know if we like that hard edge like that. Slight improvement. Do we like this big white area here? If we were on good paper, I could just go like this and it would get soft. But I don't know if this is really going to soften effectively. Okay, it's somewhat softened. Okay, I don't really mind this white stuff, and there is kind of a highlight in the shadow. It looks not dissimilar. I'm gonna see about just removing a little highlight right there. Break up the monotony of this area, and probably that blush doesn't look so great. Let's see about that. Alright, so now we got warm and cool. I don't know if it's obvious and if it's a jarring transition, but anyway, appreciate the compliment and the subscriber status, Mr. or Mrs. Waxer 12G. Okay. Well, I don't know what to say about that shadow, but you know, it is what it is, right? Okay, I'm gonna try to clean up this area of the shadow. Let's see if we can. So that's the area that's a cool gray. So we're getting a fresh, cool gray color here. One thing for sure, we don't want to have the same color in different areas because the same color is going to appear to be the same distance from the viewer. So if we have identical tones near and far, they are going to look flat. So if we have the same color here as here, then it would look like this is allegedly the same distance away from the viewer as that, when of course this is closer. Okay, do we like that edge of the shadow? I don't know if we like it, but anyway. So, okay, looks good, kind of. It's sort of, this thing looks flat. It would be nice if it looked rounder. I think this little point we made there definitely contributes to the flat look. Okay, here I'm going to take another kind of the golden color. We already have some there, but I'm going to try to go here. This is in the, we definitely got bold with that stroke, didn't we? So, but do we want that stroke like that? I don't know. It looks okay. Let me see about a highlight right here. And see if we can just move this a little bit up like that. I mean, we need bold strokes. We need more darks. And to, you know, uh, promote the perception of richness. Okay, that's looking okay. Does this look, I don't know, just light, smooth that out a little bit. Okay, we're trying to build a more round look. I'm gonna go that same color, but I'm mixing in some yellow, and let's see if we can get a little area here that just says hello, we're coming forward. And that looks good, and this really should be lighter. And let's try to put a little brown-ish or golden brown here, right there. Okay, that helped a lot. And also, why not right here? I don't like outlines, but it seemed to help a lot. As long as we don't extend the outline all the way over there, I guess maybe we can get away with that. So here I just put water on the brush, and I'm just going to sort of soften this, make it lighter. So hopefully it just sort of blends in and does not look like an outline. Okay, I got extra water on there. Now I'm lifting off that paint, and it should leave just a subtle trace of the paint. And this, I don't know, I gotta spread this a little bit. Plus this highlight, yes, we need that highlight there, but let's see about just a modest green right here. There's a modest green. Oh, that looks pretty darn nice. Holy cow. Wow. Best paint stroke of the painting so far. How about that? I think we're really going places here. We should move on to the other one. Let's just see about using a warm gray and actually put some red There, warm gray. I want to just beef up this shadow. You see how the shadow is kind of like, you know, fatter than that. So we're gonna just, it was mostly in this part of the shadow is what I want to hit. Okay, looks good. Kind of. It's definitely warm. And now I just want to connect this, but super faint, okay? And then this should really go wider, so let's just see about making that wider. And I'm gonna go with a little blue-gray because this is technically behind. Now, red and blue like that looks really dumb, but hopefully this is gonna dry, you know, super light and not be, you know, obvious. Just blot some of that up. So now it's super faint anyway. And, you know, a typical shadow really is, might want to be the same color, but, you know, all the way through. So have to be a little bit cautious about these different, okay. And then we have to be blending in with this area here because the shadow, unlike the, you know, pear, we definitely want the shadow to look two-dimensional, not three. So let's see. All right, it's looking a little more two-dimensional. And this, the darkest part of the shadows right there. Have we achieved? This is around, okay, and then let's come up here. Once again, reinforce dark here. And take off a lot of the paint and just see if we can blend this out. Okay, that definitely looks two-dimensional. That looks good. Slight highlight here. Let's see if we can just make it a little bit more of a highlight. Alright, doesn't look bad. So I've been staring at this a long time anyway. I think we're going to move to the one on cotton paper now. So I'm going to take a break and let's meet up again after the break. Hopefully it'll be today, not tomorrow. So painting the pear from life. Let's see if we can get a closing shot. There's the what we see here. It is on cheap paper, and oh, looks half decent. So if you'd be happy to paint a pear about this level, here's how I did it. Thanks again to everybody who stopped by and visit this live real-time